Hey guys, what's going on? Mouse here. So Netmarble just dropped a huge balancing patch once again on some hunters as well as the blessing stones that were not usually used in the game. Basically because they suck, so no one actually uses them. So let's just check it out, especially for you, Soohyun. There's less than 24 hours now to pull for her. I uploaded a video on this a few weeks ago talking about why I don't like her in particular and some of the things that they needed to fix and some of the things that they need to add to her to make her more effective and to make her really worthy to be called an SSR unit, because I feel like that wasn't the case before. Although she has damage, there's a lot of issues when it comes to the gameplay itself, like the things getting cancelled, the range. So for the first one, the passive details, magic reaction decreases the target's recovery rate by 4%, stacking up to 20 times. I'm not sure if this one's an additional or a complete change of the effect. But if this is an additional effect, then that's really good, because that way she's gonna have a more long-term value, that and you can use her on other game content as well as a unit with a utility that can be used against monsters that heals or regenerates. The value is not gonna be as high as Hae-In's total disable of heal and regeneration, but I think this one's a pretty good one if this is an additional. But if this is like a complete change on the effect, then I'm not sure. That might be bad. That might actually like people might complain about that, right? But anyway, let's just wait for this. I do hope that it's just an additional effect. If this is an additional effect, then that's really, really good. I think that's gonna help in the future contents in the game. For the next one, we see here kill shot. When kill shot hits, when the user uses kill shots. And for this one as well, actually, this one's really good. When the user uses core attack, it grants the madness effect. The trick shot as well is gonna be like that, because the way it works right now is that if you miss your kill shot, then pretty much Soohyun's gonna lose like 80% of her DPS, as well as for the trick shot, right? So I think this one's gonna help a lot in terms of the actual combat, because this is one of the big problems before. They also added the super armor effect on Hellfire, which is also very nice, because before, when you switch to use Soohyun and use your trick shot and use your kill shot, that's fine. But afterwards, as soon as you hit your core attack, and the moment you have your Hellfire, the enemy is gonna be in front of you already, or trying to retaliate, or using a long range skill to cancel your attack animation. And by adding the super armor effect, then that's gonna help a lot to maximize the damage. So for the kill shot, they also increased the skill range. I wonder how long it will be currently, because this is a really big problem. A lot of people complained about the skill range. A lot of people complained about the clunkiness or the awkward skill rotation where it's taking too long. But this update is probably gonna fix that, hopefully. So for the Hellfire, okay, so this is the kill shot, Hellfire, and perfect shot. So all of the skills are, wow, that's really nice. So adjusted to keep an enemy in sight until hitting the enemy. So do they mean, like, I'm not sure about the sight, because do the monsters disappear when they're out of range? I don't think so. Is it gonna guarantee the damage or the hit even if the enemies move? Like, will Soohyun adjust to the positioning of the enemy? So I'm not sure about this yet, but so far, I mean, these are really big big improvements. For the trick shot and the perfect shot, decrease skill casting duration when casting the skill. Okay, that's a good one. Perfect shot, by the way, is the core attack. So if it's gonna be fast, because one of the things that we were complaining about, like, it's too slow. Like what I mentioned, the enemies are gonna be near you already and you won't be able to finish that skill rotation. But if they're gonna improve on this, especially the perfect shot as well as the trick shot, then we're gonna have more time to do the DPS. And with the super armor, I think this is gonna be pretty legit now. Maybe. But so far, I think these are all good improvements. Yeah, do I think it's worth pulling for Soohyun now? Right now, there's still no game content, confirmed game content where you can use her. But in the upcoming Vulcan hard mode, and maybe in the upcoming end core or end instance dungeons, maybe there's gonna be a dungeon there or a boss there that's gonna be weak to fire. But I think if you don't have a fire DPS unit yet, might want to consider still pulling for her. They already fixed a lot of things, and I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be more legit now, because like seriously, it sucks. Like it really sucked before, but now I think it's more usable. And in the upcoming guild content, I think there's gonna be a 9 units or 3 teams for that. So if you really don't have a fire DPS yet, might want to consider pulling for her. She's gonna be added in the custom pulls later on, but that's also not guaranteed. It's actually even more difficult to pull for a specific unit in custom pulls, right? But I think if you're trying to save resources, then you might want to stay at least A1 just for assurance purposes. I think A1's pretty decent already. The next advancements are just damage advancements. So at least you're gonna have a fire unit that has that guaranteed elemental weakness via the kill shot. It's looking good. They're probably listening. They're probably watching the videos, the reviews that we put out, not just me, as well as the other creators and the reports as well. I think this one's a really good response. So there's still less than a day to pull for this one. So kind of up to you. To be safe, I think A1 is the safest for minimal resources for the DPS, and then you can get the rest from the custom banners soon, just so you can guarantee that you already have this unit just in case there's gonna be a game content where she's gonna be used. But if you don't have resources currently, feel free to skip, but make sure you have like a Choi or Emma at least for the fire team, because you might need them in the future. Let's go ahead to Jinchul. This is like, oh my god, there's a lot of updates here. So now the passive has a super armor and decreases the cooldown of dash by 1 second. So depth penetration increased by 10% from 8%, 2% depth penetration. For the next one, advancement tier 5, when the user says basic attack 4 times, it activates their tier 3 passive, but not the basic passive effect. So let's just check it out here. So currently I'm not sure if that is just an additional effect though, or will they change it? Hopefully this is just an additional effect, right? So one of the problems when using Jinchul is that the rotation is kind of bottlenecked. At some point there's an awkward downtime there. So with that, I think it's gonna be much faster, because previously the tier 3 passive is only gonna get activated via dash, extreme evasion, or dodgement. Or judgment. So judgment is the QTE. So it decreases the cooldown of meditation of power and iron fist by 2 seconds and activate the user's core attack. So here, once the update kicks in, I mean, it's gonna help with faster rotation with less downtime when it comes to breaking. And they also added, wow, this might actually be pretty legit. So since Mirai Amamiya is gonna be a wind unit as well, so they might be making Jinchul pretty legit now. So Jinchul haters, where are you now? Oh, the basic attack's gonna have weak break. Adding a weak break on the normal attack, I think he's the only one with that kind of mechanics, right? Or am I mistaken? I'm not sure. They will also improve the after hit delay of stage 3. So yeah, with this, I think we're gonna see faster rotation and faster breaking on Jinchul, of course. So for the suppress, which is the core attack, when the skill hits, it inflicts stun. For 3 seconds. Wow, this is actually also big. There's a cooldown though, but I think for the cooldown, I think it's fine, because this is gonna end after 1 rotation, right? So I think the main reason they added this is that so he can do his thing more freely when he's breaking the opponent, because right now you have to keep on dodging while attacking, so which is kind of difficult to do. So I think this one will help a lot, and the cooldown is okay. It will probably fit the rotation needed with Mirai Amamiya. So yeah, this one's really good. Like seriously, Jinchul might just be become the best breaker in the game right now, right? So for the meditation of power, which is the first skill, when the user uses this skill, it grants a shield equal to 2% of Jinchul's defense to team members for 20 seconds. Like, oh my goodness. Stacking up to 3 times. So he's gonna have a shield, which is gonna support the party. This is actually insane. Can't believe this. And he also has a control, which the other up tier breakers do not have, like Saw and Emma, right? And he also has that additional break damage using the basic attacks, which is gonna be faster. And then he's also gonna have a super armor. Wow, so I don't know. This seems like this seems like the way it looks right now. This is top tier. I think in my estimation, this is gonna be a top tier breaker. But we'll see. I think the wind element's gonna have a huge buff here with Mirai and the buff on Jinchul. Oh my goodness. So when the enemy enters the break state, all team members with damage increases by 12%, excluding the user of this skill. Wow! Wow! Seriously? Oh no, I might just put Jinchul to my custom pools now. And I'm glad I did not use my weapon designs, because we might actually need this. But the bad thing is that I actually dismantled my first one here, which we got for free. I would assume this is gonna help Mirai Amamiya a lot. Well, I'm not sure if this one's gonna work in POD. Probably not, because Emma's ult doesn't work there. Wow, I don't know. I'm excited for Woo Jinchul, and my goodness. But I'm kind of like sad as well, because the meme's gonna be dead, right? So we're seeing another buff on Choi. They increased the attack and defense penetration of the passive after using the ult, which is the ultimate hunter. And for tier 2, they increased the attack by a bit. And the advancement, tier 4. Oh, okay. So for the tier 5, when in team mode, the cooldown of end of days, including Rain of Flames and Flame Spear, which was not included before. So all of the skills are now gonna be like have faster cool. Wow, so he might actually deal significant DPS now. That's gonna be a huge spike, I feel, especially in terms of POD. So I feel like this one is also in preparation for the guild content, because guild content is assumed to be a team fight mode wherein there are gonna be 3 teams, right? But you need A5 though. I might actually get an A5 of Choi. Try to get an A5 of Choi. So the basic attack recharges core attack upon using Spark 6 times. Recharges core attack upon using Spark 4 times. So it's gonna be a faster core attack. And then they also increase the skill hit range of some skills. So is this gonna be a AoE, or is this gonna be, yeah, probably AoE? Quite nice. Probably, yeah, I think this one is really gonna be in preparation for that guild content. There might be lots of monsters and AoEs needed for that particular game content. And with this, I think the fire team is gonna be more like an AoE focused team right now, with Emma's AoE plus Choi's AoE. Looking good, right? I'm excited for this as well. I don't have a Choi, but with this, I think I would be interested in putting Choi in my custom banners. So another one on Cha, the Dancer. When the user lands a critical hit, it applies the Waltz of the Sword effect. Oh, seriously? Wow, this is actually big. You don't have to crit anymore, probably. And you're gonna immediately add that unrecoverable effect. And the way I'm seeing it right now, the trend here, we might be seeing a lot of like game content with monsters that have heal or regen, right? So the cooldown is also now 12 seconds. Let's just take a look at this real quick. So the Waltz of the Sword cooldown is 20 seconds. This is the one that causes the dancer to be used like infinite number of times, right? And with this, the cooldown is gonna be 12 seconds of the dancer, and the cooldown of the Waltz of the Sword is also gonna be 12 seconds. So every time you use the dancer, it's pretty much guaranteed that you're gonna be able to do that unlimited or infinite the dancer. Oof. So in teamfight mode, the duration becomes 6 seconds. Okay, so another buff on teamfight. I think this one's really pointing us to something. This will help the POD, of course. But I think it's more for the guild content, the upcoming guild content. We're seeing a lot of team-related buff here. And they also increase the recognition range of the dancer's skill usage during auto battle. Is this somehow related to the one when the AI is not using the dancer like consistently a lot of times? But for now, this is looking good for POG, and this is also looking good for any teamfight related, because the dancer also now has, in the recent buff, they granted it a super armor. I would assume it's gonna be much more important in the guild content. So I'm at least expecting that there's gonna be a barrage of monsters, maybe, just maybe, like before the guild boss. Applies 5 instances of Fit Absorption when entering the stage for advancement tier 3. I'm not sure if this one's an additional effect as well. So yeah, overall, I think we're gonna see really good improvements, especially on fire and wind. We have to wait for Mirai Amamiya, but the changes on Jinchul is gonna be really big. And the changes and the improvements on the fire team as well, I think these are mostly really for the upcoming guild content, because the water team right now is really broken. With Alicia there, buffed by Maylin, it's really crazy. But with this, I think they might be on par after the update. And Cha's improvement like really shows that they're actually listening to the feedback.